Hi, my name is Luis Aliado. I am going to present an unfortunate event on a building that took the lives of 115 people. However, we are going to use this event as an example of why we need the code of ethics, on why we need to uphold these statutes, and why we need to always follow them. Um, Before we begin, though, we first must understand what exactly the code of ethics is. Code of ethics, in this sense, is more so going to be the integrity of the engineer, the honesty of the engineer. Of course, this must be held in every aspect in our lives. However, it is needed. It needs to be assured for the engineer because let's face it, there's corruption, there's deception, there's lies all over the world, and that is normal. So we need to set a standard for our engineers that everything that you make must be honest. Everything that you build must have strong integrity and within its foundation, and you must deliver complete and utter secure and confidence in what you are building. That's to say, if I am an electrical engineer, I cannot practice and say in a civil engineering aspect or industrial engineering because I did not study in those fields. I studied in electric engineering. So if I decide to take my efforts outside of my expertise, I am already breaking the code of ethics. I'm already breaking my promise as an engineer. Now this story begins with an engineer named David Harding. His task was to design a multi-level building that was meant to serve as the headquarters for the Canterbury Television located in New Zealand. Now, after the collapse in 2012, right, an investigation took place. As everything should, if something falls, we have to figure out why and how. And during this investigation, it came to find out that Mr. Harding did not have adequate experience to even design anything close to this. His max experience only capped out at two levels at a building. He was meant to build a building that held up to seven, right? Automatically within the code, he went out of his expertise and attempted to build something that he clearly could not. However, in his defense, he said that his developers only asked for a building that was the bare minimum, something to just meet the code. Now, again, he already crossed another line. It is not just within your reason to, oh yeah, I can just do that for you. No, it is your responsibility to ensure that one, you're within your field. Two, if you're going to build something, you're not just going to meet the code. You're going to go above and beyond it because you don't know in reality, we don't know what's going to happen in the real world, right? We can calculate the weight of it, the stress of something, and we can confidently say, "Oh, we know that this building or this bridge can carry the capacity of X amount of pounds or whatever the case may be." That is the confidence that we need to bring. It is not, oh well, I think this bridge can only withstand this amount of weight. No, that is not that is not our goal. That is not what we need to strive for. Well, what we need to strive for is to go above and beyond. So, unfortunately, this person has not only failed one, but two very important code of ethics. Now, during the construction of this building, the supervisor named Gerald Shirtcliffe, it was later discovered that he was just false. He did not have a real engineering degree. He had no experience, and overall, he just had everything that he owned was false. And this was one of the reasons on why the building caved in. It fell apart because in New Zealand there was many earthquakes and for the code of earthquakes it was always changing, right? So the let me rephrase, the investigators dictated that the foundation, the soil, the foundation, the pillars that are inserted into the ground were just not up to standard. They were not nowhere near code for the building to be able to survive during an earthquake. And as we know, that building unfortunately collapsed. And even worse, it collapsed on top of 115 people and countless others injured, right? This this is the absolute worst scenario that we want as engineers. Not even as engineers, just as people. We don't want to see people be 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 dead. We do not want to see families not seeing their loved ones. We don't want to receive calls of people calling us in grief. We don't want any of that. And as engineers, we do not want to carry the burden of that. So, what did Mr. David Harding do? Well, one thing that he did do is during his statements, he made sure to be honest. He made sure to show the truth because he's not throwing anyone under the bus. One may say so, but is the reality of it. He said that his developers wanted the bare minimum, and that is exactly what he presented. He is not lying. He is not manipulating the situation. He is being honest. So in that aspect, he absolutely did what was required, which is upholding the truth. Something that he lacked was to reach out of his competence. That's He knew, or better yet, the investigators discovered that in his experience, he can only design anything that is 2 or less floors. And in this scenario, he attempted, or he successfully, whatever the case may be, he created a design that was more than 2 floors. Now, it was a two-man job, clearly, because not only did the design failed, but even during the construction, it failed. And with that being said, it was the epitome of lack of ethics. It was the definition of lack of ethics. And with that being said, this is a perfect and unfortunate example to show on why ethics must be upheld every single time. It must be upheld to secure the safety of those that are working within, to secure our integrity, our truth, and to secure the well-being for the society. Because without any of this, we will not have homes, we will not have businesses, we will not have a way to transport anything, any goods and service will be gone because we cannot uphold our standards. Now, the point of this presentation was to show that we must carry these ethics with us every single day to ensure the progressiveness of our society, to ensure the comfortability and safety for our society. That is our number one responsibility as engineers.